Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Sam, and we're bad at watching movies.
But we're good at getting wet, chemistry, and ruining our relationship on the first day of school.
Ah! In this episode, we'll be discussing the 2015 movie Teen Beach 2.
Okay.
She doesn't sweat at all.
Welcome to LA, baby.
It's gooey, it's sticky, it's everything.
Are we bad at watching movies?
Here at Bad at Watching Movies, we watch some of our favorite movies, good or bad. We talk about everything from scenes to characters, and we always have something to laugh about.
The summary for this movie from IMDb is modern day teens Mac and Brady get a real world visit from Layla and Tanner, or from Layla, Tanner, Butchie, and other surfer and biker pals from the beach party film within the film. Wet Side Story.
Oh my gosh,
That
they've
is
made it harder to say.
So complicated. So if you watched the one before this,
Yep.
then you know that they're all from the movie Wet Side Story,
Yep.
and essentially it's just the reverse of that movie. So
Yep.
now the fictional characters are in the real world.
Yep.
That simple.
Yep. And we're kind of dealing with the same characters too. So we have Ross Lynch, and he plays the main guy, Brady.
Mm-hmm. Maya Mitchell, she plays Mac or Mackenzie, but everyone just calls her Mac.
Mm-hmm. Grace Gillum as Layla.
And then Garrett Clayton as Tanner. So same cast. The
Mhm.
main four are pretty much the same. Even a lot of the surfers and bikers are the same people,
Yeah.
which I appreciate. Same cast.
Yeah. There's a couple of new people that we'll meet that are like Mac and Brady's, I should say, school friends, I guess, because they didn't hang out with them all summer.
Yeah.
But we'll learn about them later on. But those are kind of the same people. But yeah, we decided just to kind of go right into the second movie because we like these two movies a lot. It's summertime,
Yeah.
and we figured we might as well. The movie starts off with a really cute picnic that Brady arranges for Mac. I think it's the last day of summer.
Yeah.
So it's the night before school. And he's recreating the night they met.
Yeah. He's just
I
kind of like,
think-
they met in this like grassy clearing near the beach, which is like, okay. Because I guess he was like
Creepy.
on his iPad watching Wet Side Story. And like they had a conversation about it. And she's like, it's a cheesy movie, blah, 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 blah. So like this movie is kind of the reason they met or part of the
Yeah.
reason they met. And so he's like recreating it and he puts the movie on a projector.
Yeah. And then so we get the first song of the movie, Best Summer Ever. And it's basically Brady and Mac dancing in their world. And then they're dancing with the cast of Wet Side Story. So we have Layla and Tanner and Chi-Chi,
Everyone's
Butchie,
here.
Ski Cat, Giggles. Everyone's back and dancing together.
Giggles is here.
I know. She is. And we have some new people. You notice some new faces.
Mhm.
There's a redhead girl, which keep in mind because she pops up in the real world later on. They had some continuity issues because
Oh
I
my
saw her
gosh.
dancing as one of the cheerleaders. And I'm like, aren't you supposed to be in Wet Side Story?
Wait a second.
Yeah, so I noticed that. But yeah, so it's kind of a really fun start to the movie. It's kind of like, saying how summer's coming to an end and it was the best summer.
Yeah. Best summer ever.
Yep. And they all kind of dance, and they dance in front of the screen as if they're like back in the movie, and then they end their night surfing in the moonlight, which I say my parents would have had me home on
Yeah.
a school night the day
The
before school.
last day of summer.
I would have been home
And
at
you
like
could
noon.
Just be in the ocean at nighttime.
I'd be kind of
Are
scared.
you gonna be okay?
But it's summertime, so
It's
you
summer.
would think though that if it's dark, it's gotta
It's gotta be late.
It's gotta be late, right?
Yeah,
Or what
yeah.
about?
I mean, they're in California, so it's not quite as late as it is here. Because the further north you go,
yeah.
the longer the summer days are. Well, I don't know. By that point, it's like the start of the school year, so it might be different by then.
Maybe it'd be
I
like
don't
7.
know.
I don't know. Anyway, my parents would have never. Brady can't really let go of Summer, and Max says that she just has so much to do, and she's like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do this, and Brady's like, as long as I get my board shorts on in the morning, like I'll be
I'm
happy.
good. Yeah, like she's trying to be very prepared, and
Yeah.
he's like, okay, like
Right.
classic Brady, classic Mac.
Yeah. But Brady is worried that they won't be okay for the school year since they have never known each other in school. Max
Yeah.
says they will be just fine, and she says, it's us.
Yeah. I wonder if that's foreshadowing. Very on the nose
I
there.
wonder.
But like, it shouldn't be that bad. Like, they hung out all summer, and they're lucky enough that they also go to the same school.
Yeah.
Like, should be cool, but
it's not.
it's not.
Mac realizes that she loses the necklace that Layla gave her at the end of the last movie. She's really upset. We see the necklace floating to the bottom of the ocean, and it lights up.
Yeah, it's glowing.
What's gonna
It's
happen?
magic.
It's magic.
So we have the first day of school that they were so worried about, and we meet Brady's bestie, his best friend, Devin. He's like a skateboard dude, surfer dude, and that's how they bond. They're very much just kind of like broing out.
Yeah. And the reason they didn't see each other all summer is they note that he was in Indonesia surfing.
Yeah, but it was mostly because they wanted to add a new character to the movie.
Yes. Yeah. No, exactly. And I want to note that the name of the school is Windy Bluff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Kind of cool for like a beach.
Yeah.
A beach school. I don't know.
Bluff.
Windy Bluff.
Wow. Okay.
Brady is kind of telling him about Mac, but he's making her out to seem super uptight, which is not a lie. And Devin's excited to meet her.
Yeah. Right when this was happening, I mean, even I knew they were doing this. Like, they're going to do the High School Musical thing again, where it's like she's the nerdy smart girl and she needs to stay in her box, and he's a sporty boy. Like, I guess he's not playing basketball, but like surfer boy.
But he's a surfer boy.
And they're
he's
not supposed to mingle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic.
What is this?
And then we pan to Mac. She's handing out some flyers for the Save the Beach thing, which I say, it's the first day of school. Why are we already handing out flyers?
She's already in clubs. I was like, don't they have like a day where you sign up for clubs, or is that day one, or you're already in it?
You're already in it, I guess, or she was in it last year or something. I don't know. And then we meet Alyssa, who is Mac's friend, and she was at some sort of Brainiac convention or something.
Yeah, they were like, this girl is nerd, this boy is surfer.
This girl
we
is
don't know
nerd.
what they do. Yeah. Here's their character.
And then she's telling Mac about how she spent time with Spencer Watkins over the summer, who is another character that we will meet later on, who is another Brainiac guy.
Yeah.
Who's very cute.
He's very cute.
The actor, I believe, was in 13 Reasons Why. I don't remember his name. Let me look really quickly. He was in what? He was in Riverdale. 13 Reasons Why.
Okay, you got it.
That's kind of it. Yeah. So he's kind of he's been around the block.
He's a heartthrob, if you ask me.
I know, he really is. Brady and Devin end up walking up to Alyssa and Mac.
Yeah, and they're really shady to the other's like significant other.
Yeah.
Like, what was Mac's friend's name? Alyssa.
Yeah.
Alyssa is like really shady about something, like I don't even remember what she says, but she's kind of bitchy about Brady.
Yeah.
And then Devin's like bitchy about Mac. Like, I'm like, why are they coming in so heated? It's literally the first day of school.
Devin makes a comment and he goes, "Book bag. Looks very full of books."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
okay.
It's school.
Yeah.
It's school. So sorry. And then Brady tries to see if Mac is free during the day, but she's like, I have this club and I have this club. And we're starting to kind of see that she is kind of more involved, but Brady is kind of like just there for the vibes, I guess.
He's more chill.
Yeah.
His extracurriculars are not school things. They're more so like his surfing hobbies, I guess. And she's more involved in like school, environmental things. I feel like she's pretty much on student council because she does like the dance stuff too.
Which I ask, it's the first week of school and they're already planning a dance?
Right?
Because there's a dance.
I'm like, these are go-getters. The hustle never stops, Amy.
I was not this driven in high school
at
all. Like I barely made it out, so that
explains my salary.
Yeah. I just want to point out how football players and cheerleaders always wear their uniforms and cheerleading outfits at school, and it's the same way in Glee. It's the same way in a lot of
thing ever. And I guess maybe it used to be a thing. I feel like when we were in high school, it was not a thing except for maybe on a game day.
But even the cheerleaders didn't wear, because I think it wasn't dress code.
Yeah,
I'm almost positive.
I feel like that's probably a true fact.
Yeah.
Like the cheerleading outfits aren't even fit in the dress code. What does that say?
Yeah. What's that say? So we're are we in biology,
No,
chemistry?
we're in a chemistry class because
Okay.
I made a note about this because I'm like, why in every Disney Channel movie and pretty much any teen movie, if they're going to go to like a class, it's always fucking chemistry. And they're always like mixing actual chemicals again on the first day of school.
Yeah,
This
and
is a
there's no
syllabus
teacher.
day.
There's no teacher.
Like,
Yeah, where's
what
the
are they
teacher?
doing?
Going over the syllabus.
They're
yeah.
just playing with like various chemicals and liquids and just like mixing them together. And I'm like, that is not like, eventually you do that, but there's like strict instructions and
Yeah.
like I think of Halloween Town 3, like it's a chemistry scene in that one too. I'm like, it's always chemistry.
Same with High School Musical.
Always.
Always. Spencer and Alyssa have a moment. It's kind of setting up their relationship a little bit, but it's really awkward.
Yeah.
But it's cute.
Yeah.
You can tell
You
that
can tell
they're
that
like,
she really likes him. He has like a little thing for her, but then I think we're
Mhm.
supposed to also think like he might like Mac. So
that's what I noted later on, but they
Yeah.
just kind of gloss over it at the end of the movie. They never really.
yeah, I feel like they do it as like to throw us off and make us
Yeah.
feel like he's gonna swoop in and Brady's gonna lose her. But like,
Yeah.
no.
Spencer starts to talk to Mac about how their clubs could work together because they're both like environmental stuff, and they're like, oh, we could
Yeah.
collaborate on this.
And it's true. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like, and Brady gets so nervous about it right away. He's so insecure about it right away. And I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm like, they're literally just talking about the environment. Like,
Yeah.
you're fine. Like, she can have a guy friend who likes the environment, and she does too, and it's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay. Girls and guys can be friends
No.
and have their partners as well.
Never. That's outrageous.
I know. It's kind of crazy. It's end of school. Mac gives Brady a bracelet for the dance that weekend. Brady gives Mac the idea of doing the dance as the like 60s Wet Side Story themed dance, but she kind of shuts him down.
Yeah,
about
she's like,
it.
who would even know that movie? Which
Yeah.
is fair, but you could do like a 60s night,
Yeah.
50s, 60s, whatever you want
And
to
I
do.
think that's a really cute idea, but also it's like that weekend and they're just trying to plan it right now.
Yeah.
So she's like, it's also short notice. I'm like, well, then why doesn't the school make it like a few months into school?
Yeah.
Why do they make
Maybe
it the
not
first
the
weekend?
first weekend. Yeah. And then we have Brady like back at home. Well, at his like little surf shack
Yeah.
workshop area.
Which is interesting. And
Yeah,
the
and, like-
computer is like outside. And I'm like, you live at the beach where it's stormy
Yeah.
and your computer is just
tech and stuff. Then maybe
Just
they're
out
wealthy.
there.
I don't know. Like it has like a separate. It seems like it's like a separate building too from like his home.
it is. Yeah, it's like a tree house kind of style.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. But I'm like lucky.
I know.
And like his mom comes in, so we meet a character that we never met before.
We see her once and that's it.
Yep. So Brady has a mom.
Brady does have a mom.
She seems really like nice and sweet. And then Brady goes on this monologue about how everyone has their shit together except for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you feel that way, but no one has their shit together. That like
No.
continues into adulthood. No one knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then the people that know what they're doing are probably faking it half the time. So you're good, Brady. Like,
Yeah.
You're fine. You're in high school. You don't have to figure everything out right now.
The mom is like, I'm sure it'll work out with Mac and you. I think she's just a character to kind of like move along the story of
Yeah.
just being like a. Also, we don't have the grandpa
Yeah, he's
in,
not
this
in this movie.
So they were like, we have to have a parent
yeah.
because there's only one parent that exists in both or there's no parents in Wet Side Story, and
Yeah.
there's only can be one parent that exists in the real world at
Yeah.
a time.
Yeah.
That's it.
I guess that's
I
the other
guess.
logic of these interdimensional worlds is one parent
One
only.
parent only.
One adult figure at a time, please.
So we're back in the movie Wet Side Story. The boys are getting ready to take down the evil scientist, which is side note, so happy that they're not in this movie.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They get
they're-
mentioned once to to
Remind
help
us.
to
Yeah,
remind us
kinda,
about
yeah.
that. And Layla says that she wants to go too because she is having these like moments of like, I want to be a part
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
I can do anything boys can do.
Mhm.
And all the boys are like, what are you doing?
No, that's not what we're supposed to do.
And Tanner like pulls her aside, and he was like, "Girls aren't supposed to." And she's like, "Oh right, I'm sorry."
Yeah. But can I just say, the end of the first movie, everyone was there taking out the scientist. It was literally everyone. The beach,
Right.
the guys and the girls. So I don't know. But anyway, we're back on like, we got to stick strictly to the script of this movie.
Yeah.
And one of the lines too, I think, is like, Tanner's saying something about like, my middle name is Danger, and Seacat's like, I thought your middle name was Lewis.
He has like 3 middle names in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the boys run off, but you can tell Layla really wanted to go and not stand around for the boys to come back.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see her like looking out at the ocean, like thinking.
Yeah, like, I want to break free. I want to be like Mac, who
Yeah.
she met and wants to be more free.
Mac is waiting for Brady at the college fair because before we saw Brady's like treehouse, Mac was like, "Oh, you're coming to this college fair tonight. Like, I want you to be there with shoes on," and because he wore flip flops on the first day of school, and he forgets. And then there's a scene of him trying to quickly get dressed with a bunch of like different shirts and shoes, and
Yeah.
it's like chaos.
It's very chaotic. He gets there, it's raining.
yeah,
He gets there and he missed the whole fucking night.
yeah.
And so Mac's not happy. Mac's with Spencer, so Brady's even more butthurt.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now we kind of see the crumbling pieces of their relationship. He stands in the rain and asks what's going on. And they start to fight about the school versions of each other do not work. But it's the first day of school. So it's like
yeah.
they got through one day
And then they're breaking up.
and then they're breaking up.
One day.
One day of school.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, here's to forever, I guess.
Yeah. Brady tells her that he'll just see her next summer since that's the next time that she is free, and Mac says fine. Brady runs off and Mac is sad.
Yeah.
And that's how that scene ends.
Yeah, and then we go into Brady's like solo sad song. It's literally the Vanessa Hudgens moment of this movie.
And he's recording every single instrument.
Yeah, he's like also a really talented musician who has all this recording equipment in his surfer house. And I was like, okay, so he does have other hobbies. And we've never heard about this until just now. But
yeah.
it's because he's a Disney Channel star. And they're like, everyone has to like, because I'm sure he like made this song. And then they probably made like an album. And we're like, you're a Disney Channel guy. So you're going to like be in a show, be in a movie.
Yeah.
And we're also going to have like an album.
Right.
Because that's the way it works. It's like it is a machine that pumps out these like child star to teen star to pop idol.
Right.
So I feel like they just try it with everyone that comes through.
Just to make some money.
Yeah.
So it's called On My Own, and he has it's exactly that. He sings that. He has Wet Side Story on in the background while he's recording this. I put a note. I feel like it would mess with the audio, but whatever.
Weird. Why would you have another? Okay, fine.
Sure, whatever. So yeah, it's just like a montage of him singing and playing the drums and the guitar and singing it, and yeah. Anyway,
back to Wet Side Story world.
Yes.
And I noticed that like Layla and Tanner both look a little bit older now. Like they look like they have aged, not like in a bad way, but they just both look more mature as people. Like their facial structure, and then I feel like Tanner's even more tan.
Tanner is so
He's
tan.
Tanner's Tanner.
Tanner's Tanner.
And Layla, again, has this feeling of like she wants to be a modern woman. She's like, I want to take control. I want to live my own life. I don't want to follow this stupid sexist script anymore.
Right. Layla says that she misses Brady and Mac and wants to be more like Mac, try new things. The necklace that's actually lost in the first movie that what's her name? Mac loses in the beginning of the movie washes up on shore. So she sees that and she's like, Tanner, look, do you know what this is? Tanner says, a necklace. Layla, I gave this to Mac. It came back to me. Don't you see? It's a sign. Tanner, it really looks like a necklace.
I love his stupid lines.
Tanner says that he needs, or Layla says that she needs to go where Mac is and walks into the ocean. Tanner goes after her.
Yeah. And she waves goodbye to all the characters. She's like, bye, everyone, says all their names. And then she's like, bye, background characters that I don't know the names of. And just their hands.
Yeah, it's good.
And they go into the ocean. And lo and behold, they end up in our world. Mac and Brady's world.
Yeah. Some sort of world.
Yeah.
And they're confused. Layla points out a shack and asks if that's Big Mama's, but Tanner says no. And the way he says, it's like cheeseburgers and sushi, and he goes, it's burgers and sushi. Sushi. What's sushi? Tanner's character is the best.
He's so goofy.
He's so
and just
goofy.
like, yeah. It's great. And then they don't understand like the technology. There's a guy on like a water hoverboard, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And they don't understand like phones and Siri and all of these new modern technologies.
Right. Mac is cleaning the beach, and she runs into Brady. Mac sees Layla and Tanner on the beach, and she and Brady runs towards them, and it's this really cute reunion. They're really happy to see each other. And Mac asks how they got there. Layla explains that she found the necklace, and then they jump in the water just hoping for the best. They were like, well, we were just going to see what happens.
Thought it would work. Yeah, why not? And Mac and Brady decide, okay, we can't like tell them they're not from like, they're just from a made up thing.
Right.
That it's just like a fake, it's not a real world, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Because that would just be kind of like baffling and might send them over the edge. And so they're
Right.
like, well, you're kind of in the future, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best way we can explain this.
But they still never say where they are, like in the U.S.
Yeah,
or
they don't say
anywhere.
it. I'm California.
It's got to be California.
They have school outside where they have the lockers and like cafeteria and stuff outside. I've always been jealous of that in like these teen movies because they always live in California. They always get to have school outside and it's sunny when they're going to school. And I'm like, no, it's rainy when you go to school.
No, that's why you go to school.
And you can't go outside because it's rainy.
Yeah.
So
Well,
maybe
they did have an outside courtyard at our high school, but no one ever
until the
ate out
spring.
there. Yeah, it was never really used. Cue another song right after that, and it's Right Where I Want to Be.
Yes.
The whole song is about them exploring this new world, being so excited.
Yeah, they love it. They're so into it. Both of them, which is good because
Yeah.
I thought just Layla was going to like it, but Tanner's like, the stuff here is really cool, essentially, is what he likes. Like the technology and
the
just like.
segues they love.
Yeah.
The silver guy, one of those like street performer guys.
And they dance with them. They make a musical moment, which always just makes me think of Enchanted. Like when a person from a musical comes into the real world and starts like fucking shit up and making everyone sing, that's Enchanted.
Yeah. True. But yeah, so it's just like them being so excited. My favorite part is them when they're just dancing, like, and it's just the two of them because like in a normal musical it'd be like a huge group number.
Yeah.
But it's just the two of them doing a choreographed dance and no one else around them, and it's so good. Tanner's laugh through this movie really gets me. Like I really love his like laugh.
Yeah.
He's really
it's very like
Yeah, so Brady and Mac are trying to figure out what to do with Layla and Tanner. Brady's kind of like, well, you know, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, they're just here to hang out. We miss them.
Yeah, pan over to them like in like public showers that they always have at the beach, like not getting wet.
Yeah.
And
they're
like giggling and going, ah! So they're like drawing a lot of attention and then not getting wet at the same time.
Yeah, they still have
because
like
they're
the
in a
movie properties of the other world where like their hair doesn't get wet if they look perfect, everything's great and wonderful.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Brady starts to freak out a little bit, and they come up with a plan. They're like, well, we could tell him that they're from a movie, but that's a little complicated. Why don't we just make them hate this world?
Yeah, they always have to have some sort of like game plan with these two where they're trying to trick them. And I'm like, I thought you were friends at this point. You could probably just be straightforward. But no, they're like, let's just try to make them hate it here because it sucks and it's not a movie, and then they'll go home.
Yeah, because they think that will work. So Layla and Mac are at Mac's house, and there's a really cute callback line from the first movie where Layla is looking at the iPad with like the speakers.
Oh yeah.
And then she goes, yeah, I know this technology stuff can be really complicated. Because when Mac was like trying to use the what is it called? The record
Oh yeah,
player.
the record player, yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I know this modern technology can be so complicated." So it was a little cute, like callback. Yeah.
Mac's gonna give Layla some clothes to kind of make her fit in, and they're gonna take him to school. So she keeps trying on like clothes, but since she's from the movie world, she just kind of walks behind the wall, and then when she comes out, she just instantly has changed her outfit. And every time she puts something on, it still has like that 50s, 60s flair to it. Like it changes.
Yeah. I love it though. Like
it's so cute.
her all pink like flight attendant kind of outfit is really cute. But then she ends up going as like in like this like side pony, like a very 60s white and yellow kind of dress.
Yeah.
Very cute.
It's very, very cute.
So Brady and Tanner are at Brady's little treehouse thing, and he's telling Tanner that he also needs to fit in. And there's this really funny part where he goes down a fire pole, and then Tanner takes a really long time to get down it, and it's just like this squeak as he's going down, and at the end he just has like the best laugh
Yeah.
because he's so excited about it.
For all my Zelda fans out there, it takes about the same amount of time as King Zora scooting himself out of the way in Ocarina of Time. In that game, you have this cutscene.
Yeah.
It's an old game, but like you tell him, you have to like have a conversation. He has to move to get through the next part, and it
Yeah.
just takes like an hour. He just goes, It's that scene, but in a video game.
But in a video game. Oh, that's funny. So we're back in the movie, Wet Side Story, and and everyone seems really lost because the main characters are not there. Like no one knows what to do.
Yeah, they're like, where are we supposed to go? Which it makes sense because in the last movie that happened too, where like something got thrown off and they're like, we're
They all
just
stand
bored.
around like,
what do
yeah.
we do?
Yeah. So someone, or I think it's Butchie, says maybe a song can make things more normal.
Mhm.
So he asks Chi-Chi to sing, but she's like, I'm doing my nails.
Yeah.
And then she just gets like thrown on the stage. But Cat wanted to originally
he wants
sing.
to do it, yeah.
So now we get one of the best songs from the whole movie, Fallen For Ya, from the first movie, but like a sped up version of it.
Yeah, and it's so much fun. And it's Cat and Chi-Chi like fighting over the stage.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
It's so
so fun.
cute.
But it's kind of shitty that the best song in my opinion, the best song in this movie is literally just a remake of a song from the first movie.
Yeah. Well, the first movie had better music.
Yeah.
So I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, it is the best song. Yeah.
Giggles Wiggles is what I wrote because she always does. And
She's
I'm
like,
just
"Does this
happy."
help?
Yeah. I can do this anytime.
And then they're like, oh, that actually does help a little.
Yeah, that's great.
We're back in the real world at school. Brady and Mac are trying to tell Layla and Tanner that they need to fit in. They just keep reiterating, like, don't stand out. Just fit in.
Yeah,
Don't
they're
stand out.
really pushing it in this movie.
Yeah.
And then this is something that happens in movies and shows all the time where like some character from another world or something joins the group and they just start going to school with them. And I'm like, how did you register for school? Like,
It's the
like they
second
take
day.
attendance and you're going to go to every class and you're just going to be like, you're not on the list. Like I feel like someone would say something.
Also, they choose to make them from foreign countries that
Yeah.
would typically have some sort of like language barrier
Yeah.
and accent.
And they just sound
like
normal
a
American.
American.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting choice. I think I feel it was like Helga from like Norway is what they made Layla. And
Yeah.
then I don't remember where Tanner was from, but it was like, just make them from like, I
Yeah,
don't
because he says
know.
Tanner's from like Iceland, but then Devin's like, "Oh, I've been there," and he like talks about it, and Tanner's like, "I don't know anything he's talking about."
Yeah, it's like just make them from like, I don't know, like New York or something, or like Florida. Like
Yeah.
just make them from the U.S. or wherever they are.
Oh my gosh! And then they're telling him not to. They fit in, don't sing or dance. Like that's a big no.
Yeah,
And Tanner has this moment where he like walks like a model because he's always like the center of attention in his movie.
yeah,
So he like walks down the hall, the outside hall, because it's California school.
right.
And like everyone's smitten and like totally here for it. And I love that he still has
Yes.
like that power in this world.
I know. He has a line right before that says, "If there's anything I can do, it's walk down a school hallway."
Yeah.
And then he starts the walk, and then all the girls are like, start like folding in and following him. It's so good.
And what's his line at the end? He says, "People dig me."
They
I
do.
love that.
They do.
They really do.
Tanner meets Devin. They're like instant besties. And then we cut to Layla meeting Spencer. It's awkward, and Layla just is looking up at him, and she's like, "You are so cute," and he's just like,
Correct.
"Okay." And then we have this moment where I feel like Spencer likes Mac because he's apologizing for, I guess, how Brady reacted. He's like, "I hope I didn't cause any issues between the two
Yeah.
of you."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, the issues are our own. It's not you.
Right.
It's mostly us." And Spencer says, "So I'll catch you guys later." And Layla says, "Well, I hope you have a really big love." And Spencer's like, "I gotta go."
I gotta leave this girl
It's
weird.
cute though.
I hope you have a really big love.
And then Layla meets Alyssa, and they're like instant besties too. So Brady and Mac's idea is not working because
Yeah.
they are loving it.
They love this world. And Layla's like a freaking genius.
Yeah.
She like knows calculus or learns it instantly. And I was
Yeah.
like, calculus is not easy.
Right.
It wasn't for me.
And yeah, so we're at lunchtime. It's outside. You know, they have like Brady is just really loading up his tray with food, and Mac grabs like an apple.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's like that contrast. But I don't know. I feel
Miss,
like
I'll have half a grapefruit, thanks.
Yeah. I feel like it though. I feel like that's like a big health code issue to serve yourself at school, right?
I think they have like salad bars and stuff though at schools.
Do
So yeah, like at our high school they had like you go and you pick up things that are like set out for you, but then there's also like a salad bar in the middle.
Oh.
But
I don't remember that.
yeah, but most of the food is like already cut. Like if there's lasagna, they're like in squares already. You just grab kind of
Okay.
thing.
He
but
was just like really
dishing it.
dishing it out.
He likes his slop.
Brady and Mac are like, okay, well maybe this situation will be the one that breaks them, because with new kids trying to find a place to sit at lunchtime, they're really gonna get eaten alive, which is horrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrible. So
Yeah, and then like the football jocks come over. They're trying to tease Tanner, but he's so like unaware that
Yeah.
it doesn't work. They're like trying to make fun of him and he doesn't get it.
yeah. We break out in probably the worst song of this movie, in my opinion. Twist Your Frown Upside Down.
Upside down.
Yep. It's a song where Layla and Tanner are trying to make people smile and not be so mad and mean.
And it kind of works.
And everyone's dancing and, you know, everyone's smiling and happy. And it's like the High School Musical thing where it's like at the very beginning, it's very much like jock.
Stick to the status
nerd.
quo, yeah.
Right. But then by the end of it, everyone's friends and mingling. Yeah, but it's just weird. And then I noticed one of the background members from West Side Story is dressed up as like a cheerleader. It's like the redhead. She was like kind of the front gal.
They reuse. They
reuse.
And here's the thing. I think every single beach scene that's in the Wet Side Story thing is literally the same beach that they're out in the real world. I'm almost positive the locations are just the same.
Probably.
And like the grass clearing where they're having their date in the real world, I'm pretty sure it's the grass clearing where they do the Meant to Be song in the first one.
Isn't it supposed to be maybe because it was filmed there?
Yeah, maybe the movie. Yeah, it could. Like I feel like
Yeah.
you can explain it away, but it's just oddly convenient.
Right.
And something I noticed with this movie and then, and the last one is the choreographer loves lots of props, surfboards, lunch trays, loves people dancing with props.
Yeah.
Also loves using like an aerial view and having the people make some sort of picture or symbol
Yeah.
or something. Like they do like a happy face. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something I noticed with like, here's this choreographer's style.
And jumping.
Yeah. And a lot of jumping.
A lot of jumping. And again, I say props to all these dancers, because it has got to
Yeah.
be horrible to dance in sand. I'm just saying. Like, they dance in sand, both movies. Every single dance number is in. Well, I guess this one's not, but like
It has school
most.
moments, yeah, but there's a lot on the
But
sand.
most are in the sand, and I'm like, that has got to be so hard on the body. We cut back to Wet Side Story, and everyone looks really bored.
They have like a huge card house that they made. It's like a card city, honestly.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're just bored. Like, we don't know what to do.
Yeah. And I don't know if we mentioned this before, but people are starting to disappear.
Yeah.
So they're starting to kind of vanish. And so everyone's kind of freaking out a little bit because no one knows why.
Yeah.
Tanner and Devin are leaving school, and Devin is on a skateboard with headphones in, and he's kind of like yelling at Tanner. And Tanner's like, why are we yelling? And then Tanner asks Layla if she wants to hang out, but she's like, I'm busy after school because I have to study. She has like a ton of books in her
Yeah.
hand. She's really excited to study, though.
Yeah.
She's like, isn't that
She
exciting
loves
that I have
school,
homework?
And she's like good at it. And I'm like, pro.
Yeah. And then you can tell that Tanner's kind of upset about it because, you know, he's
He
like,
wants
what's
to spend
going
time
on?
with her. Yeah.
So Brady and Tanner go back to Brady's treehouse, and Tanner's about to get real with Brady.
Yeah. People always like him. Everything works out because he's from this like perfect movie world where
Right.
everything falls into place all
Yeah.
the time. And he's like, I'm worried. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm scared that Layla, like, I'm not enough for Layla, essentially,
Yeah.
is what he said. And I'm like, oh, like,
I
it's okay,
know.
buddy. Like,
It's really
she
sad.
can have other hobbies and other things, and like, it can still be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's good about relationships,
Yeah.
you know, is having your own thing going on.
Yeah.
And then Brady says, a quote is, I mean, I guess all you can really do is be the best you can be, and hope that's enough.
Yeah. It's so
Damn.
sweet and
That's
sad. And
so
I'm just
real,
like,
though.
mm.
I mean, that's like like my everyday. It's just like be the best you can be, and
That's all you can do.
hope it's enough.
That's
you
all
know.
you can do. Yeah.
And then Brady tells Tanner about the thing that he has been working on that Mac doesn't know about. His big idea is a surfboard that can surf without any waves. So it's like
Yeah.
has like a motor on it.
Yeah. Which is like, I don't know why he felt like he needed to keep it secret, but he does.
Because
And it causes issues.
Mac's grandfather literally
Made surfboards.
made surfboards. He's like, she just wouldn't get it. She wouldn't understand. I'm like, dude, it's literally her like family
You
business.
hung out with her the entire summer and you've been dating and like you every single day and you've been surfing. The thing you've been doing is literally surfing on these boards. You think she's going to be mad if you're making surfboards?
Yeah. There's some things in this movie where I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. But I also think of like this thing where they're like, oh, Brady's just like dumb, stupid, whatever. I'm like, no, he's very like mechanically inclined.
Yeah.
Like he has all these fun inventions for the surfboards. So,
yeah, like he's very smart, and you see kind of towards the beginning of the movie when they're in chemistry, he's like doing some drawings, and it seems very cool. He has one design that's like a surfboard that folds into a suitcase.
Yeah.
So you're just ready to go. But I'm like, I feel like that wouldn't be a great surfboard because it's
It's
like
literally like
cut
normal
up.
like hinges as I point to a door. And I'm like, those don't like stay in place, you know? Like
No.
in the water it'd be like this. It would,
Yeah.
like, break apart.
It's a
But
good
it was
try
fun.
though.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fun.
good try, good try.
You're also like 15 or 16.
Yeah, but he
so-
also can put a freaking motor on a surfboard, which again, I had no idea that Brady knew anything about like mechanics. I had no idea he knew anything about like recording music or playing music, since it's not even mentioned in the first movie. But you know, another sequel that does that is The Christmas Prince, where the princess Emily can just randomly hack an entire country's like
Yep.
secure database without any knowledge of like, oh, she's like smart and she like knows computers. Like
Yeah.
we'll just have a scene where she's hacking things.
Yeah.
It's
We'll just throw that in there.
Oh, and I have this note. I don't know why it's in this spot, but it is. Something I mentioned was like, had this movie taken place a little bit later, like right when we were in like COVID lockdown, Layla and Tanner would have walked out of the ocean, saw like two people on the beach, a couple wearing masks, and they would have been like, okay, we're going back.
Yeah. This is not good.
That was enough.
Yeah. So Layla and Mac are back at Mac's house. Layla is talking about how much she loves it here. And Mac is trying to convince her that her world is so much better. You don't have taxes. You don't have public restrooms. You know, you don't have finals or school. Like, you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, you just have a good time.
Yeah.
You fall in love. You sing a song. Never have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. You never really have to, like, hydrate or worry about, like,
Yeah.
you know, you could eat probably whatever you want.
Everything's
it sounds
perfect.
great.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, because Mac's thing is like, well, you have a boy that loves you, so why don't you go back and just live your life? Well, and Layla's like, well, don't you have a boy that loves you, and you're able to do all of this stuff too, and that's what
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah.
And then Mac kind of goes into this whole thing about like, oh, maybe if you would just respect my passions, you know, and not get so weird when I'm busy, kind of talking about Brady. And then Layla comes out and she looks like a normal.
Yeah, she has like her
person.
normal clothes. Her hair is down. It's not like up in her thing.
She looks so
She's
beautiful.
so pretty.
I
I know.
know.
I have a note. I'm like, she's just always gorgeous.
She's always so pretty, and her hair's like so
yeah,
flowy.
it's like perfect. I was like, I know this must be like real world, but I'm like, you're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Stop.
Beautiful. But Mac's like, that means she's starting to change to the real world
Yeah.
because she's clothes are looking normal on her.
Yeah. So she's like, I got to tell Brady. They get together. They have everyone together. And they're like, we have to tell them. We have to let them know. And like, they test it out. Their hair is getting wet. They're
Yeah.
like becoming a little more like the real
The
world.
little like tooth glisten thing with
Yeah.
Tanner is gone. So there's
Well, Mac freaking just says it. She's like, yeah, you're not real. Could you imagine?
And then they show like the clip from the movie, and it like Brady's like, could we have eased into that a little bit more?
Like, you could have been nicer. You could be like, so, like, explain kind of like how art is created, and you could have even been like I would have been like, hey, Amy.
Yeah.
So I know we've known each other for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
but you know how like you don't like you came from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another world from here, and I know you understand that. But like, you know, when someone writes a book and that becomes its own world, or they make a piece of art and you feel like you could be transported there, you're from another world like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem a lot more gentle than you're not real?
You're not real. You're not a real person. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You should have been a writer for this movie.
I think Mac has just had it.
And yeah, so they basically show him clips from the movie, and then Tanner's like, "That's us," and then they're starting to kind of figure that out, and then cut to Silver Screen, which is another song, and it's like a cute song of like a bunch of different like generic movie tropes.
Yeah, they have like a Singing in the Rain moment and like a Pirates of the Caribbean moment.
Cowboy Wild West kind of thing.
Every genre.
I'm doing like a gun with my hand for some reason. And then they're trying to convince him that movie life is better, but Layla basically says no. She does not want someone to write for her anymore. And she runs off and Tanner goes off after her.
I don't blame her. Could you imagine though? Like I get the perfect world is really cool.
Yeah.
But having to like kind of relive it all the time and stick exactly to the lines, exactly to the scenes for the rest of your life, like that's not fun.
I mean, when they're in the movie, when they're kind of just in the movie world,
do
they
know?
realize that it's on a loop?
I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like probably not. I feel like it starts over and they're just
yeah.
everything's
But
back.
since Layla has been kind of
she's aware
that there is another world, you know.
It's kind of the Matrix.
Yeah, this movie is the Matrix.
Matrix, the musical.
So we're back at West Side Story. More and more people are disappearing, so everyone's still freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't show this when Layla and Tanner are on the beach, but the necklace gets washed up.
Yeah.
So at some point,
I think Layla
loses.
had thrown it just before this. She throws
Does
it because
that
she's
show-
mad.
Does it show
I think it does. I think it's when
I
she's
missed
having her
that.
like, I don't want people to write for me. She runs out of the ocean, throws it, and they're like, fuck, we don't have the necklace anymore. How are they getting it back? This is a moment I like though because Tanner walks up to her, and this is kind of the first genuine like he comes and he just tries to comfort her.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm mad at you for throwing the necklace. Like, what are you doing? He's just like, are you doing okay? And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like they're having a real relationship now.
Yeah. I love that. What's his name? Butchie is like, we have to go save them. We have to go in and tell them and get them back because we need them because people are disappearing. And so they run into the ocean.
Yeah.
Like a little pack
They're
of
just
them.
going to go.
It's like a bunch of them, I think, right? It's probably like 10 of them.
Yeah. It's like Sea Cat, Giggles, Butchie, Chi-Chi, and kind of like a
The
couple
bubblegum
other...
girl.
Yeah. Some other background people, the ones with the hands.
The one with the hands,
Yeah.
yeah. Mac and Brady are looking for the necklace in the water, while Layla and Tanner are kind of just hanging out on the beach.
Yeah, they have like a conversation of like, oh, like I guess couples fight too. This is what it's like to be in a real relationship.
Yeah, there's a funny moment where Tanner says, "What was that?" Because yeah, like you said, Mac and Brady are kind of like bickering a little bit, and Tanner's like, "What was that about?" And Layla says, "I think they were arguing." And Tanner says, "But they're not in rival gangs."
They're not surfers or bikers.
It's like he is so funny. And then all of a sudden, the rest of the cast walks out of the water, and Brady's like, "Are you kidding?" Because he's already had 2 people to deal with, and now he has like 12.
The whole crew.
The whole
yeah,
crew.
Yeah. Butchie pretty much explains like, hey, you guys need to come back. People are disappearing. So you need to get back or else everyone's going to disappear. And they agree. Layla and Tanner are like, yeah, I guess we better go. And Layla's super hurt about it because she's like, if I go back to the movie, that's that.
It's that. Yeah, she doesn't get to be who she wants to be.
Yeah.
And it's really sad when they all have to say goodbye, you know. And then Tanner, Layla, and the rest of the gang walk into the water and go home. Mac leaves to set up for the dance, and Brady says, "See you there." And they go their separate ways.
I know. I'm like, just go together at this point. Come on.
Yeah.
But whatever, they go. And then we go to the dance.
It's a typical high school dance.
Yep.
Very, very typical. The lights are
I think
all...
it's Under the Sea themed. Like, what is this? Back to the Future?
Also, I'm pretty sure they had Under the Sea or like Whale or something in Read It and Weep, the one I did for
sea themed.
It's always sea themed. I'm sure there's another movie that has like Under the something.
Every high school has a room where they have the decor that they use on repeat for these school dances, and there's always underwater shit there.
Yeah. Yeah. Always underwater shit. Um, they have a live band, which is cool. We never
That's
had a live
awesome.
band. We always
Yeah.
had a DJ guy, but I kind of like the DJ. I don't
Then you
know
get
if,
popular songs at the time.
and I don't know if like a high school band would have been
Great.
great.
Well, I was in Battle of the Bands and we did really well, so maybe it would have been great.
Okay.
No, there's no way we could have done a set list for that long.
No,
in
that's
our
a
high school
lot.
band, and like you want it to be like things that everyone likes, and
Yeah.
Anyway,
And then Spencer asks Alyssa to dance, and she says yes. They never circle back though to it kind of seeming like Spencer was
Yeah.
into her.
yeah,
They like never go back.
it's just kind of like okay, yeah, Spencer and Alyssa.
Brady's kind of staring at Mac, creepily because he's upset and because things are not good. Devin tries to hype him up, and he's like, "You're not going to get anywhere standing in the corner."
That's true. Devin's a really good friend.
He's
goofy. He's just a surfer bro, but he's very nice and he's very supportive of both Tanner
Very
and
caring.
Brady.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I love that he says this fruit punch is nectar.
And then all of a sudden the music changes and the gang from the movie walks into the school. That whole gang that had just went into the ocean,
Mhm.
they're back.
Yeah, because they're like, yo, look, Brady, Mac, we know you're meant to be together.
Yeah.
You need to fix this, patch this up. Things can work. You can still live your lives, but you can be together too.
Right.
And Tanner's like, you need to be confident, confident. And he's like, you can spell it. And he's like, K-O-N-fidence.
And Tanner says, the only person keeping you from realizing it is you. Brady said, you came back for us. You risked everything. And Tanner says, some things are worth the risk.
Which is sweet.
Very
Some
sweet.
people are worth melting for.
Some people- Yeah. Oh my God.
But also, it's nice because they're helping their real world friends. But if people are disappearing in the other world while they're gone, they're like keeping that going. Like they're really letting other people disappear. And like they don't know if they'll come back after that. Like, did they die? Did they go into purgatory? And they're like, it's fine. We'll just waste a little more time to get Brady and Mac together.
They're like, it's urgent, but not.
Yeah.
For the rest of the movie, it's like, oh
Because
my gosh, we gotta
they
go.
hang out, they go to, like.
We gotta go, but let's sing a reprise.
Yeah. Gotta go. One more song.
One more song.
Oh, no.
And then so Brady was like, you know what, Tanner, you're exactly right. Brady jumps on the stage, and it's one of those classic, I understand there are bands out there, adult bands, because I went to Nashville a couple years ago, and there was a band where all you'd have to do was go up and say like a song.
Play
and they
this, yeah.
knew exactly what to play. Like, oh, this song is the key of G. It's like these chords, or it's like this kind of beat. And some musicians 100% can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not high schoolers, I feel like.
Yeah, and he's like, just play something spicy or like upbeat. And so the guy like gets the rhythm, which is fine. I feel like you can start with kind of any rhythm and work from there. But then
Yeah.
he like takes over the guitar for a minute, plays it, and then it like switches out with the guy who's actually supposed to be playing.
And then
like,
he just plays it
yeah, he just
perfectly.
knows it.
But
Also,
no.
Brady had a song prepared. Like, I guess he is a secret artist that we didn't know about till this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just like sings her a song, and then we get this boys girls rivalry dance in the gym, which is very fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. And Devin is a fantastic dancer. He's like a break
Yes.
dancer. He's doing like all the cool like flips and standing on his head.
Yeah,
and
it's
all of
really
that.
cool.
It's
I'm
cool.
like, I wish you were in the first movie, but
Mac's hair was this is his thing. Mac's hair was very curly in the beginning and then just straight at that point.
yeah,
It was just, I mean,
movie
I get
magic,
it.
I guess.
My hair is going to be like very straight at the end of this night. There's a lot of jumping, I noted.
Yeah,
The choreographer loved a good
loves
jump.
a jump, loves those props.
But it's a fun song, and the song ends with Brady falling into Mac's arms and saying, I guess I literally fell for you, huh?
Classic.
Oh, classic.
We need to get these movie people back to their movie world. And a bunch of them start disappearing. Like the main people, like Butchie eventually is the last one, pretty much. And then
Well, Butchie disappears with the necklace.
yeah, and then how are you gonna get back?
Yeah.
Like everyone's gone except for Layla and Tanner.
Yeah,
The necklace is gone, and they're like, "What do we do?"
right. Brady has his invention that allows people to surf when there's no waves because that particular night it's very calm out, so there's no waves. And so he runs back to get that with Mac.
Mhm.
And then Layla and Tanner are asked to peel the flower off the surfboard because if you remember in the first movie, the whole reason they got to this world
Was
is
the surfboard.
because the same flower on the necklace is on the surfboard.
Here's the thing: they like peel off the flower from the old surfboard.
Yeah.
I thought it was like an old family heirloom, like painted on or like etched in, and they just like pry it off.
Yeah, and I feel like the flower was made out of wood that was like ingrained into the surfboard and not just like a layer on top of it. But they get it off and they glue it onto the new surfboard, and
Has a motor.
it kind of like lights up,
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh,
magic.
it's magic," and now it's gonna work. Yeah, so they basically are getting ready to go. Throughout this whole time, it's like urgent, 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 and then they stop and sing a song.
Meant to be.
Meant to be.
It's cute. It's slow. It's the third or fourth time we've heard the song in the series of these movies.
Yeah,
I think
they said on like the Apple Music, it was like version 3.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like the
'cause it
third
reprises
time.
in the first one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, they're
Literally, people are disappearing.
Tanner is like yelling at Brady at one point, but then they have time to sing like a 5-minute version
Yeah,
of the song.
because doesn't Tanner like start to disappear a little bit? Like he gets kind of shiny.
When they're on the surfboard in the water, he's like, "Hurry up, Brady!" But I'm
Yeah.
like, "But if you wouldn't have sang this song,
you would have been fine.
you would have been fine."
It would have been good.
So,
And
anyway.
then yeah, oh my god, and then the longest scene in the world. Like, of course the surfboard doesn't work.
Yeah.
Brady's like, I'll go underwater. He's like tinkering with it. It just takes forever.
But he's like, "Yeah, I need like a little screwdriver or something to fix it." And then, an homage to the first movie, Layla pulls out a bobby pin. It was like, "Try this."
Ooh.
And he's like, "Oh, great." And then puts it in, and it seemingly works.
Yeah.
And then they kind of ride off into the water. But then as they're riding off, there's kind of like this voiceover of Mac being like, "If the movie doesn't exist, our relationship doesn't exist."
Ah.
Which I say, how?
I don't know. Yeah, like I guess it's how they met, but not really. Like I don't know. He was just like on his iPad on the beach, so they probably would have talked about something else.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess they don't meet because he just runs past Mac,
Mm-hmm.
and like she doesn't remember him. He doesn't remember her. He's just hanging out with Devin, I guess, this night.
Yeah.
So like the whole first movie, as far as like Mac and Brady are concerned, never happened.
Yes.
And something to note too is just before they go on the surfboard, Mac is like, Layla, you have the power to change the movie. You can
Right.
live your life however you want to, even though you're going back.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can, and she's like, why not?
Yeah.
You can do it.
So Devin and Brady are hanging out, and they see like the Save the Beach dance, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to go crash that?" And then Devin's like, "Sure, we can go there." And Mac is kind of working the front office or front desk or whatever,
Yeah.
and giving out
tickets.
tickets. And we find out that the movie that they're showing at this is Layla, Queen of the Beach.
Yeah. So the movie exists, but it's different. She changed it, and she's like the star. It's like a feminist forward movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like she's kind of like, I feel like she kind of replaces Butchie in a way of
Yeah.
being like the gang leader, but is there gangs in this movie? I don't know.
I don't know. We just know that everyone loves her and she's amazing,
Yeah.
which is fine because her voice is great and it's Layla.
And it's Layla. And she looks so good. Yeah, and so it ends with a really cool song where before then it ends with Mac and Brady meeting again, but they kind of have switched places because there's a dialogue about Mac is like, "Oh yeah, this movie is awesomeness," and I think of that. What is that TikTok where it's like, "That was legitness."
That was legitness.
I don't know why
Yeah, it
awesomeness
was.
just yeah, it was, huh? But no, so Mac's like, "Oh yeah, this movie is awesomeness," and Brady is like, "I don't think awesomeness is a word." And I think they're like in the beginning of the movie, they're kind of quoting like the first time they met.
Yeah.
And I think it is they switch places.
Yeah, because now Mac is obsessed with the movie.
Yes.
Brady doesn't really like it at first. Which I think is kind of sad because I feel like a big part of like Brady's character is he's like dope and he likes this old cheesy Wet
and
Side
they
Story movie that now doesn't
change it.
exist.
Yeah. So, does the grandpa not exist?
I don't know. Well, oh my God, we've really there's another layer here. I miss the grandpa. He doesn't
Yeah.
know what he's doing, but yeah, he's not there, and yeah, him and Brady never would have bonded over them. Wow, there's just so many
But
things that
would the
would have happened.
grandpa exist? Does the grandpa
He still
like
would probably
Layla,
exist,
Queen of the Beach?
but I guess if he never watched the movie, maybe it was what inspired him to surf. Maybe he never made surfboards. I don't know.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. This movie, This is a big deal, but
This-
fine, change the movie.
Fine, change the movie. Anyway, it ends with a big movie dance number with all the cast from the real world and from the movie world.
Yeah, because they're all projected on the screen,
Yep.
and they're doing like a drive-in on the beach kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they have all these like pickup trucks. I'm like, yeah, brother, like we're doing the 50s Layla
Oh,
Queen of the Beach,
yeah.
heart feminism.
And then at one point they like tap dance on the beds of the trucks. And I'm like,
Yeah.
isn't that bad for them? I'm like, you
Mhm.
guys are ruining some trucks right now. Yeah, so the song is That's How We Do. Layla is just so good. She has such a good voice.
Yeah,
It
she
fits
fits
so
that
well.
vibe very well, like
Yeah.
that 50s, 60s sound.
Everyone's dancing, having a good time. It's kind of a weird song because it's like the fizza, fizza,
Fizzle,
fizza.
this is trying to be the ending of Grease.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it ends with Brady and Mac meeting for the second time again.
Mhm.
And it looks like they are going to be together.
Yeah,
and
it
so
all is going to be fine.
this is how they meet, and they're together again, I guess.
Yeah. And Layla is like on the screen. She's like big in this moment. And she
Yeah.
like winks at Mac because she has the bracelet that Mac had given her.
Right.
So like that happened, but Mac and Brady now have no idea of like Layla and Tanner, that they exist and who they are, and they never went to that world, I guess.
Yeah.
There's just so many layers because now if that happens, I have so many questions.
Okay.
Because if Brady and Mac never went to the first movie to
Mhm.
talk to Layla, to influence Layla to be her own woman, to change the movie, then the original movie never exists. So Brady and Mac never go there, but then that would mean Brady and Mac never influenced Layla. So like, how does this even happen? It like
Yeah.
couldn't.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a movie world, so maybe they
remember,
don't change. Their realities don't change at all. Like their relationships don't change because her and Tanner are still together.
Yeah, they're fine.
I think everyone's kind of the same character. There's just a different story.
Do the other characters in well, now Layla, Queen of the Beach, did they know what happened? Like we only get the inclination that Layla knows that it's changed. Does Tanner know
Yeah.
that it's changed? Do the other characters know that it's changed? I have no idea. I have a theory. I
Okay.
think that Layla is a god or goddess.
Yeah.
She was trapped. She was cursed, and she's like
Yes.
trapped in this world where she has to relive the same thing, and she's very like stuck to all this stuff, and she can't break free from it.
Yeah.
And now like god powers activated. She can change her movie, and she can influence our world.
Yeah.
Magic.
Magic. But yeah, she has like this little wink at Mac, and Mac's kind of like, oh, that was weird, and so she's aware.
Yeah, but we don't know if
She's-
anyone else is. It's weird.
It's like,
She's
yeah.
your own woman, and when you're your own woman, you can cause interdimensional time changes and
Yeah.
rewrite history and the future.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's like a million timelines. It's into
There
the
is.
Spider-Verse, but it's into the Teen Beach verse.
And I also wonder if they sold like the flower, if they like make the flower, like
Yeah.
produced it and put like millions out there, if everyone could just time
travel between these worlds
or
and
go into your like, I wonder if that could be like a marketing thing, like spend a day in your favorite movie.
Yeah.
And then
oh my
like,
God. Wow.
yeah.
Entrepreneur over here.
I know. I could just see like Teen Beach 3 and they bring back like the scientist and the real estate guy, and that's their new like venture.
Thing. They're like, everyone gets a flower.
Everyone gets a flower, but they're
Oprah,
using it
flower,
for like
flower, flower.
negative. They're like, I don't know how they would use it negatively, but they are. And then they try
I
to
feel like it'd
save
just be
the world.
chaos. Like if every single person was jumping between these worlds, changing timelines, we'd have like a million timelines by
We
the end
don't
of it.
need multiple Macs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God, could you? Okay, so now Teen Beach 3.
Yeah.
There's like 5 universes. It's like Spider-Verse. They all come together, and then
Yeah.
there's like a musical number where there's like 5 Macs, 5 Tanners, 5 Bradys. They're all a little slightly different. Like I feel like one of the Bradys is just a brunette because why not?
I love that.
Yeah, I think that's the next.
One and then
Their
one of
next
the Tanners.
venture,
One of the
yeah.
Tanners is super pale.
I love it. I think it needs to happen. And then Thanos will just want to like destroy it all.
Wow. That is some Yeah, I mean, I feel like they could use Thanos because isn't Thanos owned by Disney?
Yeah, like at this point, I'm pretty sure Teen Beach is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With this much timey-wimey.
I love that. Layla could be a Marvel like.
Oh my god. Oh my god. A Marvel. Oh my god.
A Marvel. Oh my god. She really could be.
Wow, she's up there with like Scarlet Witch and Agatha.
Yeah.
She's a witch.
She's a witch.
Halloween Town.
Oh my
They
god.
put a pumpkin on the surfboard.
You know what we need? You know what we need? You know, like the what is it? The Avengers Endgame, like how there's a movie which is like
They all
of them,
collide, yeah.
but it's like Teen Beach, yeah, Halloween
Luck
Town,
of the Irish. The 13th year, we're getting mermaids.
people from High School Musical, like everybody coming together, and they fight against the scientist and this real estate agent.
My god. Well, and the evil house from Smart House, please. That'd be a great ultimate villain.
Like, oh my god, it's like a villain. It's like the house shows up. Like
they all come
crushing
together. It's
people.
literally the Kingdom Hearts of the Disney Channel cinematic universe.
People from High School Musical, the series are there.
I need all of them. Oh my gosh. And like Phineas and Ferb just show up out of nowhere.
Yeah, like animated characters too.
Oh my
are
god,
there.
Selena Gomez is here and she's like, yeah, I'm back. Wizards of Waverly Place, bitch. Like I need it. Oh my god.
Disney.
Wow. And then the actors and actresses who played different characters in different Disney Channel movies and shows would be all of those characters. So like all the Ashley Tisdales would be their different characters and they'd all meet and it'd be like chaos.
or they're like their whole thing is shapeshifters.
Oh no. 12 timelines, 16 movies, 16 shows, and a shapeshifter.
Mm-hmm.
Why
I
not?
dig it.
And it's
All
a
right.
musical, obviously.
Well, Disney, get on that. We'll be waiting
Yeah,
for that
we're
movie
ready.
to come out. And I hope Thanos is in it because that would be bizarre.
Ugh.
Layla and Thanos fighting against each other.
She wins.
Yeah.
He can't hit those notes. He can't jive like her.
Yeah, and the battles are dancing and singing. And then who can like record an entire song on their own.
Oh my god.
This was a fun series to do. It's always fun. Teen Beach is like one of my favorites, but the first movie is definitely better.
Yeah, I like the first movie.
It has its trade-offs though, because the first movie has the scientist and that whole plot, which
Yeah.
I hate. But then this movie is like, by the end of it, you're like, what?
Yeah, maybe they should just give up on doing musicals that are like weirdly sci-fi in random parts.
Yeah,
Like just pick a theme.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they never also explain how the flower gets them to these other.
And why both
into the
exist, how
movie.
they're connected, I don't know.
They
Ancient
never-
relics. I'm telling you, the surfboard symbol, the necklace, they're ancient relics from
Well, that's
another
why
dimension.
I feel like the family is part of it, like because they're connected in some way, because this movie came out in the 60s and there was already the
Grandpa
flower.
had the surfboard, yeah.
So I feel like Mac's family should just not exist.
Yeah, I'm curious if, like, again, the actress of Layla somewhere way back in the day, like, met someone in Mac's family. But would that happen if Wet Side Story was never made?
No, that's what I'm saying. So Mac should not be a real person.
I can't. There's too much.
Like-
Anyway, bye. No.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.
I hope you don't have a headache.
I know this was a lot. It's complicated, but we got through it together, and we're all confused together. So
Yeah, we can do it together.
we can do it together. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. That was good.
Okay.
She doesn't sweat at all.
Welcome to LA, baby.
It's gooey, it's sticky, it's everything.
Are we bad at watching movies?
All I know is I need Groot to have his own song.
Oh,
I am Groot.
I want Teenage Groot.
Yes.
Teenage Groot is the best.
Teenage Groot.
We're playing the video game, and he's like, "Ugh,
Teen Beach movie, Teenage Groot.
I am Groot.
Teen Groot movie.
Teen Groot. Well, anyway, we could go on and on here. Like,
Anyway, bye. No.